Hi, good evening. I am Sathiya Narayanan, Zoology Faculty, RGR Academy. So now I discuss about the human reproductive system. So generally, the human is the sexually reproduced and viviparous organism. So human is the unisexual and dimorphic animal. So some of the events in the human reproductive system. So what are the events in the human reproductive system? The first one is gametogenesis process, insemination, fertilization, implantation, gestation period, maturation and lactational process. So gametogenesis means the formation of gametes. The formation of male and female gametes is called as gametogenesis process. The formation of male gametes is called spermatogenesis. The formation of female gametes is called as oogenesis process. So generally the hypothalamus is released the GnRH hormone. So gonadotropic releasing hormone is stimulated to the pituitary gland. So adenohypophysis of pituitary is released two hormones FSH and LH hormone. The FSH is mainly responsible for the releasing of spermatogenesis factors and LH is stimulated to the Leydig cells for the releasing of male gonadic hormone. And next, FSH in female reproductive system is responsible for the development of follicles and LH is ovulation process. LH is leads to ovulation process. And second one is insemination process. So what is the insemination process? The sperm cells are released to female genital duct. The male is released the sperm cells into the female genital duct, that is called insemination process. And next, fertilization. So the fertilization means the fusion of male and female gamete to produce a diploid stage of zygote is called as fertilization. And implantation. After implantation, the zygote is undergoes to cleavages. The blastomeres are formed, the blastomeres is converted to blastocyst, then the blastocyst attached to the wall of endometrium of uterus, that is called implantation process. After implantation, the blastocyst is undergoes to many developmental stages, that is called gestation process. So gestation process approximately 9 months or 36 to 40 weeks or 270 to 280 days. After completion of embryonic period, the baby get delivered to out, that is called maturation process. So the pituitary gland is released the oxytocin hormone. The oxytocin hormone is main responsible for the strong muscular contraction of uterus for the delivery of baby. And next, the lactational process. The mammary glands are active in female body. They are secreted to the milk. The one of the hormone is responsible for secretion of milk, prolactin or lactotropic hormone, and oxytocin also responsible for the adgestion of milk. Adgestion means the forcibly the milk will release to the outside. That is the events of human reproductive system. Next, the male reproductive system is consist of mostly the male reproductive system is located in the pelvic region or posterior part of the abdominal cavity. So generally, it's including a pair of testes along with accessory ducts and accessory glands. So what are the parts are included in the male reproductive system? The testes, rete testis, vasa efferentia and vas efferentia and epididymis, vasa deferens and ejaculatory duct, urethra, penis. So the testis is a external genitalia is covered by an outer scrotum. The scrotum is a sac-like structure, is mainly responsible for the reduction of temperature in 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius less than the body temperature. So the testis is covered by an outer fibrous connective sheath is called tunica albuginea. Each testis is divided into 200 to 250 lobes. Each lobe is contained 1 to 3 highly coiled tubular structures. The highly coiled tubular structures is known as seminiferous tubules. The seminiferous tubules is consist of two types of cells. The one is spermatogonia and second one is Sertoli cells. The spermatogonium is undergoes to many divisions and to produce a male gametes or sperm cells. And Sertoli cells, the Sertoli cells is provide the nourishment of sperm cells. and outside the seminiferous tubules is called interstitial cells. The interstitial cells is known as Leydig cells. The Leydig cells is mainly release the male gonadotropic or male androgen hormone is called testosterone. So what is the function of testosterone? The testosterone is mainly responsible for development of male secondary sexual characters and spermatogenesis process. So the spermatogonium is undergoes to meiosis division to produce a sperm cells. The sperm cells is embedded in the head of the Sertoli cell for the nourishment. Then after the maturation of sperm cells is released from the seminiferous tubule or Sertoli cell is called as spermiation process. So which hormone is responsible for the spermiation? FSH hormone. The FSH hormone is responsible for the spermiation process. So what is spermiation? The releasing of sperm cells from the seminiferous tubule or Sertoli cells. So that is the testis. And next the network of testis. The posterior part of the testis having many network of tubules is called rete testis. The rete testis is open into a vasa efferentia. The vasa efferentia is open in epididymis. The epididymis is mainly responsible for the storage of sperm cells and give you time for maturation of the sperm cells. So generally the epididymis is divided in three parts: carpet epididymis, carpus epididymis and quada epididymis. So the epididymis is open into vasa deferens. The vasa deferens is a two parallel ducts. The vasa deferens is a two parallel ducts and it united to form a common duct along with ductus of seminal vesicles. The duct is called ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory duct is open into the urethra. The urethra is commonly known as urinogenital duct. The common passage of urine and semen throughout the urethra. The urethra is open to exterior opening is called as urethral meatus and male external genital organ penis. So generally the penis is made of three columns of muscles. In the dorsal position, two columns of muscles is called corpora cavernosa, in ventral corpus spongiosum. The three muscular bundles is main responsible for erection process and ejaculation process. Erection means the muscular contraction and ejaculation means the releasing of sperm cells into the outside. That is called ejaculation process. So the penis is covered by a loose skin. The loose skin is called foreskin or prepuce. The end point or typical penis is called glans penis. Generally, the glans penis is made up of a cartilage tissue. So these are the associated ducts of male reproductive system. And associated glands, seminal vesicles, prostatic glands and bulbourethral glands. The seminal plasma is contained high rich amount of fructose. The fructose is mostly helping to the nourishment of sperm cells. And prostatic glands and bulbourethral gland. Prostatic gland is a unpaired gland or single and bulbourethral gland is the paired gland. These secretions are mostly helping to the lubrication of the genital duct. In next, spermatogenesis process. At the puberty, the spermatogonium is undergoes to mitosis division, is differentiated in primary spermatocyte. Generally, the primary spermatocyte is a diploid cell. So 46 chromosomes are present in the primary spermatocyte. So some of the spermatogonium is also converted to primary spermatocyte and other spermatogonium is undergoes to mitosis division to develop a primary spermatocyte. The primary spermatocytes is undergoes to first meiotic division. Then two secondary spermatocytes are formed. One primary spermatocyte is undergoes to first meiotic division, two secondary spermatocytes are formed. The two secondary spermatocytes is a haploid nucleus, they have in 23 chromosomes. Two secondary spermatocytes, a secondary spermatocyte undergoes to second meiotic division, two cells form. So totally two secondary spermatocytes undergoes to second meiotic division, four spermatids are formed. The spermatids are develops into the sperm cells is called as spermatogonium process. In one ejaculation process, the male, healthy adult male is released 200 to 300 millions of sperm cells are released in ejaculation process. In 60% of the cells is the normal. They can't tolerate the unfavorable situations in the genital duct, but remaining 40% is more strong and more motile. They are completely reached the fallopian tube and ready for the fertilization. Each sperm cell is divided in 4 types. What is the 4 types? The first one is acrosome structure, and second one is neck, and third one is middle piece, and fourth one is tail. The acrosome structure is a cap-like body and is filled with enzymes. What are the enzymes are present in the head of the sperm cell? Acrosin enzyme and hyaluronidase enzyme. The 2 enzymes is responsible for penetrate the zona pellucida membrane of ovum. And next, the neck and middle piece is completely filled with mitochondria numbers. The more number of mitochondria are present in the middle piece of the sperm cell, the mitochondria are provide energy. And tail, the tail is the motile organism. Motile organ is mostly helping to the movement of the sperm cell in female genital duct. The sperm capacitation. So sperm capacitation means the sperm cells are released into the female genital duct. They can tolerate some unfavorable situations in the genital duct, finally reach the fallopian tube. That is called the capacity of sperm is called capacitation of sperm. Thank you so much. The next class will continue on the oogenesis and female reproductive system.